Okay, indices, lesson 2. Where it's really just negative indices and fractional indices. So, first one, 2 to the power 3, we know is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 squared is 2 times 2, and 2 to the power 1 is 2. The rest of them, I want you to use your calculator and get your answer. Write them down. I'm going to push you to try and do it as a fraction, so you need a decent calculator. And see if you notice any patterns. Pause the video. See if you can actually work out what negative indices are. Okay, when you've done this, you should really notice that it goes like this. Now, the first rule, and this rule I forget to teach all the time, but it's so important. 2 to the power of 0 is 1. And in essence, anything to the power of 0 is 1. So a million to the power of 0 is 1. 25 to the power of 0 is 1. Half of a billionth of 10 squared, all of it to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, then you have a look at your negative indices. Half, quarter, and 8/16. And normally when people look at these, first thing they notice is divide by 2 each time. Good. But what you really should notice is that here I've got a 2 there, and I've got a 2 here. I've got a 4 here, and I've got a 4 there. So really, what 2 to the power minus 1 is 1 over 2 to the power 1. And 2 to the power minus 2 is 1 over 2 squared. Okay. And this is your general rule, that a to the power minus. So 4 to the power minus 2 is 1 over 4 squared, okay, which is 1 over 16. And 7 to the power minus 3 is 7 1 over 7 cubed, which is 1 over 343. Okay. And that should be nice, should be easy to remember. But what we need to do, we need to move on to like fractions, like 2/3 and 5/2. Now if I go back, I sort of lied to you a little bit. 4 is really 4 over 1. And I flip it to make it 1 over 4, and I square the top and I square the bottom. 1 squared is 1, 4 squared is 16. Same as 7 to the power minus 3. I flip it, because this is really 7 over 1. I cube the top and I cube the bottom to make it 1 over 343. Now this is better because I can do any fraction. So 2 over 3 to the power minus 1, I flip it to be 3/2. And I do both to the power of 1, which just leaves it as 3/2. Right, 2/3. That minus means I flip it to be 3/2. Yeah, I square the top and I square the bottom, which will make it 9/4. Now 5/2 to the power minus 3, there's a minus, so I need to flip it, which will make it 2/5. And I need to cube the top, cube the bottom. 2 cubed is 8, and 5 cubed is 125. Good. And that's all you've got to do. So just remember that minus means you flip it and then you do whatever power's on there. Okay. This is just to remind me to teach you that 2 to the power of 0 is 1, because it comes up so many times and so many kids. Right, here's some questions for you to do. Easy, medium, hard. Go. Ignore this symbol, it's rubbish. Pause the video. Answers. Is your answers? If you need to go back to actually check what the numbers are, there you are. These answers again, pause the video. Now you've got to do fractional indices. Now I want you to try and work this out for yourself. So get a calculator and type these in. Type in 49 to the power of half, see what answer you get. See if you can work it out for yourself, see if I need to bother. Pause the video. Right, the values I've got these. Right. Now, what you should notice, if we look at powers of a half, you should look at 49. Now, 49 is a square number. We know the square root of 49 is 7. 100 is a square number. We know the square root of 100 is 10. So, if you look at these, really you should realise the power of a half is the same as square rooting. But that also means that 49 to the power of half, we should also need to consider minus 7. 100 to the power of half, we need to consider minus 10, because there's always 2 square roots. Okay, so minus 20, minus 4, and minus 10. Now for 227 to the power of third, because that's a cube root, it's just 3. Yeah, because you don't have a positive and a minus on a cube root, only when there's an even power. So a quarter, that'd be to the root of 4, yeah, which is 10 on minus 10. Okay? And this is where you need to really realise what's going on. Okay, I power whatever's on the numerator, and I square root or power the root for whatever's on the bottom. You can do this in either order, but obviously one way is easier than the other. So 8 to the power of 2/3. Now I could square the top first and cube the bottom. I'm going to do that just for hell of it. So square the top, 8 squared, okay, is 64. And then if I do the cube root of 64, it's going to be 4. Okay, the answer is 4. But what you might think of, you might do the opposite way around. So you might do the cube root of 8, which is 2, and I can do that in my head. I know the square root of 2 is 4. Now I've got exactly the same answer. Now I would always push you to cube root the bottom first and square the top, because it's always easier, but sometimes you may need to do the opposite way around. So 125 to the power of 2/3. Give you a second. Okay, so cube root 125, okay, which is 5. Yep. And I've got a square 5, which is squared there, which makes it 25. So 125 to the power of 2/3 is 25. So I've got 10,000 here. I need to full fruit it, which gives me 10. And I've got a cube 10, which is 1, 2, 3, which gives me 1,000. Last one, 8 to the power of minus 2/3. Okay, so now we've got to combine both rules, and it doesn't matter which order we do this, yeah? But I might want to think, I might deal with a minus first, so I'll flip this to become an 1/8, and both of these have to be to 2/3. 1 squared is 1, and cube root is 1, so I know the top becomes 1. Now 8 cubed root is 2, we already did that earlier on, and 2 squared is 4, so I know it's a quarter. If I want to do the other way, yeah, I could do the 2/3 first. So 8 cubed root is 2, and I've got to square it, which makes it 4, and then I deal with a minus, which gives me a quarter. It doesn't matter which order you do it. Right, here are some questions. Go, do them without a calculator. This is a non-calculator paper. Do a couple of each section before you move on. If you're feeling really smart, there's some really harder extension ones. But if you master this, there's nothing they can really throw at you on this topic. Pause the video, show your answers. Here's your answers. There you go, I hope you enjoyed this lesson.